to the pinch of inflation, from gas to groceries. We're all feeling it. But right now, is the economy as bad as it seems? In tonight's Prime Focus, our Elizabeth Schulze spoke with U.S. Secretary of the Treasury Janet Yellen and small business owners in Chicago about the reality of prices and how it could impact how people vote in November.
It's been 3 years since Mia Sakai packed up her life in New York to open Underlay Market in Chicago.
You're all set.
Bye, dude. See ya.
Her dream? To recreate the bodega experience in the heart of the Midwest.
In essence, it's like a love letter to the bodega.
A love letter to the bodega. I love it.
Within months of opening in December 2020, Mia was confronted with unexpected snags in the supply chain brought on by the pandemic. And soon after, rising costs for everything from cheese to eggs.
Were you surprised at how much prices went up in a short time?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely in grocery, it's like, you know, it's a quarter here, it's $1.50, that type of thing. But you still feel it for sure.
Like many small businesses, she was forced to pass down those higher costs to her customers.
Hi, how are you?
It's not an easy thing to do, and it's not something we like to do, but we also want to be able to keep our business here and continue to be able to service the neighborhood. Do you want a bag with that?
And while shoppers absorbed the price hikes and her business kept growing, a sense of unease has set in over the economy.
What word comes to mind when you think about the economy?
Influx.
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 Sticker shock at the grocery store is one explanation for why Americans are down on the economy. Between 2019 and 2023, food inflation increased by 25%, faster than other categories like housing, clothes, and medical care.
Do you still notice those higher prices that so many people feel when they go grocery shopping, when they're buying food for the week?
Yes, sometimes when I'm buying something I haven't bought for a long time, I do notice that the prices are higher, but I don't expect that to continue.
Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen is the Biden administration's top economic official and former chair of the Federal Reserve. We met her just a few miles away from Mia's shop in Chicago.
Please welcome Treasury Secretary Dr. Janet Yellen.
Yellen was there to deliver a major speech, part of a mission to try to convince Americans that inflation and the broader economy isn't as bad as they might think.
Apartment rents, food, are maybe 20% higher than they were before the pandemic. But what's happening for more than a year now? Wages are rising more rapidly than prices.
The typical American household is now spending $1,019 more every month on the same goods and services compared to 3 years ago because of inflation. But wages are up an average of $1,072 every month during that time, offsetting the higher prices.
What do you say to Americans who see this data but say they are just not feeling that economic strength?
Recent surveys suggest that picture is changing. We've seen a massive improvement in consumer sentiment.
After reaching a record low in June 2022, a popular index of Americans' sentiment about the economy is rebounding, a trend the Biden administration is eager to highlight amid dismal economic approval ratings. Polls show voters overwhelmingly favor former President Trump for his handling of the economy.
Do you think you'll vote for Joe Biden again?
Right now, I don't know who I'm voting for.
Not far from Yellen's speech in Chicago, vintage store owner and lifelong Democratic voter Alexandria Jones isn't yet convinced.
A lot of the data about the economy is really strong. It shows that the jobs market is good and wages are up, prices are cooling. Do you feel that?
Not as a small business. For someone who is starting out anew, it's tougher. It's a tougher economy.
One reason it's tough? That unaffordable rent. A few months ago, her landlord delivered an unexpected blow.
My rent was $1,400, it's $1,750 now.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
Alexandria says her margins are so tight she can't afford to hire employees, which has gotten more expensive as wages increase.
Last year, I clocked not being here 11 days out of 365 days because I had to be here.
At Rattleback Records, just a few blocks away, owner Paul Rufino says he's lucky to say business has been steady despite those rising prices.
A record that when we first opened in 2018, that we would sell for maybe $21.99 is probably now $28 or $29.99.
And have customers been able to absorb those higher prices?
It seems like it.
He says the problem with the economy now isn't as much about the message as the messenger.
Unemployment is low, inflation has slowed, so I think that things seem to be moving in the right direction and hopefully will continue to.
Why do you think it is that people don't necessarily say that, or voters say they don't feel it at least?
Yeah, I wish I had. Don't you wish you had that answer? I don't know. I'm not saying that people's reality isn't real for them.
You think President Biden can take more credit for the economy?
I think he should. Yeah, he's done a pretty good job.
Our thanks to Elizabeth Schulze for that.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.